How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Mojo Grip. Mike here. So today's video is a continuation of what we discussed, more of an update on the Mosaic rules that are coming out hopefully later this year. Now, I posted a recent video where I discussed why it's going to be cheaper to buy an aircraft in the, I wouldn't say near future, but more like 2 to 3 years from now, depending on how long it takes the FAA to actually implement these rules. A lot of questions came out of that video. And so I'll make this more of an update and also an opportunity to answer those questions. More pertaining to light sport aircraft. Right now, if you have some type of medical condition or you're just late in trying to get into flying, the light sport category is a lot more attractive than, say, wanting to get a full private pilot license or get multiple ratings. The reason being that with a light sport or sport pilot license, it's quicker to get. You have more leniency when it comes to medical or health issues, but also on the flip side, you have more limitations on how long you can fly, how much you can fly, and also the airspaces you can fly in. And then the most important part is the type of aircraft you can fly, which is limited to a light sport aircraft. This is why I'm telling you to maybe wait a little bit before you go ahead and shell those dollars for a light aircraft. Let's go back history lane a little bit. The light sport aircraft category was created back in the early 2000s, 2004. And the main objective for this category is to, one, allow more people access to flying, again, because of the leniency of the rules. And also the light sport category was supposed to be more affordable. This will allow more people to get in at a less expensive price. Well, that hasn't been the case because right now, light sport aircraft cost just as much as your certified four-seater aircraft. You have some light sport aircraft north of $300,000 brand new, which really should not be the case, but that's a video for another day. Now that you understand the foundation of the light sport category and why it was created to begin with, now fast forward more than a decade later, you have now a lot of manufacturers who have created these smaller airplanes, which are generally two-seaters. Their performance is limited in terms of how fast they can go and also how far they can go. But unfortunately, the cost for these aircraft have also gone up, more than double in some cases. Now, since I want to explain my theory as to why things are going to get cheaper. Now, what does any of this have to do with airplanes actually becoming cheaper? Well, give me a second. In my previous video, I spoke more specifically about experimental airplanes, which generally is the cheaper route to go if you're trying to get the same features in a certified airplanes, which a light sport category airplane belongs to. A light sport is a certified plane, although it has limitations, it is certified. What that generally means is that the FAA embraces this category of aircraft as safe to fly, which also means that your insurance cost is going to be lower, generally on light sport airplanes, and also the requirements and some of the hoops that make you jump to fly such aircraft is also more lenient. The opposite happens in the experimental category, where these are generally airplanes that needs to be built either by an individual or a facility, and that becomes very expensive, both in time and money. So far, we've established that a light sport is expensive and experimental is expensive. Now, how do we bring the cost down? Well, the Mosaic rule. And this is how the two connect. Currently, one of the limitations of a light sport aircraft is the fact that the gross weight of the aircraft cannot be over 1,320 pounds. For seaplanes, you get about 100 pounds more. So for seaplanes, you get 1,430 pounds. Now, we do have some seaplanes or just light sport aircraft in general that have some type of special certification, which allows them to add a bit more weight. I've heard of some planes in development right now that the FAA has granted to be able to carry, say, 300 more pounds. So you do have some light sport, or you will have some light sport aircraft in the market that has a gross weight of 1,800 pounds. If you're new to flying or you're new to aviation in general, you're asking, what the hell does all of these things mean? Okay, I'm getting there. Right now, 1,320 pounds, that's the limitation. Also, a light sport airplane is limited to 2 seats. So your payload generally is peanuts, especially if you're on the bigger side. And this is why I said initially that maybe you want to wait if you've been frustrated about not being able to find a light sport aircraft that fits your lifestyle, your body, and also your type of flying. Part of what's been proposed in the Mosaic rule is to increase the weight of the light sport aircraft category. And not just the gross weight, the privileges a pilot has may also increase. When you look at the experimental category, there are some aircraft that will swing into the light sport category should the Mosaic rule passes, aka the Sling TSI. The airplane that I fly, this is a true 4-seater airplane that can carry 4 adults, even with the Rotax 915 engine, climb at 1,000 feet per minute, do just about everything a normal 4-seater airplane, a certified 4-seater airplane will do. Now, what sets the Sling TSI apart is that it's light. The gross weight for this airplane currently sits at about 2,100 pounds. Not even that, it's about 2095. If you look at a Sling TSI right now, it's just about 800 or 700 pounds more than the limitations you have for the light sport. Now let's assume that the Mosaic rule does pass and the FAA does increase the gross weight for the light sport aircraft category. Let's say they put it at 2,200 pounds, just to have a nice landing here. What this will mean is that an airplane like a Sling TSI can now scoot over and become a certified light sport aircraft. What that means now is, one, this airplane is now certified, which automatically means you will save money on your insurance, but also the cost to build that airplane will go down significantly. What I mean by that is no longer will you need human hands or continuous man labor for 1,000, 2,000 hours. Now you can actually build a Sling TSI in a factory with robots, with more efficient logistics. And so rather than paying a facility $100,000 to build a Sling TSI or any other experimental aircraft out there, that same airplane can now be built for maybe $25,000, $30,000. That's the significance it will have, because an airplane or any product that's built in a factory generally will be built more efficiently, and you may not need as much human hours or man hours to build the same airplane. Logistically, the airplane will be built much quicker. It will cost less time, which automatically means it will cost less money to produce. Indirectly, it means we can have more of the same aircraft available in the market. It can be more mass produced. The hope is, with demand being high, but supply also being high, now you have a situation where the airplane can be a lot less to the end buyer than it will cost currently to buy the kit and buy the engine and buy all of these parts. So the only thing we'll hope for when this happens, if this happens, is that manufacturers don't get greedy and they actually pass along all that cost saving to the end customer. But this is what I imagine would happen once these rules pass through the FAA. You would have more airplanes available, which means more choices available. Those airplanes will be cheaper to make, and you can make them a lot quicker than what you have now, which, generally speaking, to build a Sling TSI today, one, you have to wait to get the parts, which can take up to a year. And then once you start building, if you build it yourself, you're looking at a minimum of probably 2 years. Some folks don't finish their airplane in 8 years. Some take 10 years, right? It's a long time. And if you hire a build facility, you can get it done about a year or less than that, depending on how fast things move, right? So you're looking at a minimum of 2 years to buy and build a Sling TSI. And the cost right now to build a nicely spec'd out Sling TSI, you're looking at around $362,000. A used Sling TSI will cost anywhere from $350,000 to $400,000. I've even seen some RV10s in the market today that cost close to $500,000. It's mind-blowing, but that's what I'm pushing out, and I'm hoping that this Mosaic rule does pass and we can see some savings for pilots and anyone who's dreamed or wanted to own an airplane and doesn't necessarily want to spend all that money to just buy a 50-year-old airplane. So this is why I said to perhaps wait a little bit if you're looking in the light sport category. Now, obviously, if you're good to go get an experimental aircraft today, then you should probably get in line and get one as soon as you can, because the demand is still high, and the sooner you can get your kit and start building one, the better. Okay, so that is my spiel for today. If you have any questions, please leave in the comments below. If you learned something in this video, please give the video a thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace.